Okay, folks, so this, in my opinion, is possibly the worst scene of season three, taking place in the restroom of Zach and Fatima's home towards the beginning of episode 16. This was the scene that really set me off and had me going, you know what, I think I'm probably going to close the book on this show because this is ridiculous. Zach and Fatima have a stand up sit down. Fatima's on the toilet because she's over this shit. And Zach is, wanting to discuss the situation about leaving him in jail. So I've done a couple other videos before this one, both from episode 17, when they were in the bed together, and then when they were at the dinner table early in the episode. I wanted to do separate videos about particular Zatima season 3 scenes that really didn't sit right with me. So if you want to join the journey, I appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Hit subscribe, hit that bell icon and select all. That way you're up to date when I post content. And without further ado, let's jump in. And of course, this scene stretches for like 6 to 7 minutes, so I could only play a clip of it, but I did take thorough notes on everything that was discussed. So remember, this is after Zach had attacked Malachi, and then Fatima eventually came home and saw, these two were like resetting the table, and she went upstairs. Zach just got out of the shower. All right, so he's like, "Hello, hey, surprised to see me?" No. Fatima just kind of rolling her eyes. And Zach is like, "So, you knew Jeremiah was alive?" "Yeah." "You knew yesterday when you called me, or when I called you on the phone?" "Yeah, I did." "But you didn't get me out of jail." "Zach, I don't want to talk about it right now." And in my mind, I instantly think about all the times Zach called her out for, how come when you want to talk about something, I got to drop everything and talk about it, but whenever you are on the receiving end of me wanting to talk about something, it has to be on your schedule. So she pretty much blows him off and goes to the restroom. He comedically, hops on the bed, runs across it, and goes in there, because Fatima doesn't want to have this back and forth, considering there's no door to their bedroom, and doesn't want to hear the guests downstairs to hear. Now, "I want to talk." "Well, I don't want to." "Well, how about we do this? I talk and you listen." "Do I have to?" "No." And then she just rolls her eyes annoyed. And like I said, just the sheer difference of how these two communicate. When Fatima is upset and Zach doesn't want to hear it, she will yell until he has no choice. But here's where the table is turned. He says, "You were right. I should have listened. I should have never attacked Jeremiah." "Oh my, wow, really?" And I'm just like, what? My biggest issue was the fact that this heel turn came completely out of nowhere as far as I'm concerned. I already talked about how maybe any sort of anger Zach had towards Fatima went out the window when he came through the door, thought that Fatima was getting freaky with another guy, and then threw Jeremiah across the floor. Then the confusion and then calming down kind of settled any sort of aggression he may have had. So from there, he's like, "Look, you're going to be the wife, or my wife, and the mother of my child. What else was I supposed to do?" And this is the thing. I just hate how this scene was written. Because Zach was just a bonehead. Like, what else was I supposed to do? Zach, Tyrone, Fatima, and a number of other people, Dr. Reed, a number of other people told you, think about what you'll lose if you handle this the way that you think you need to handle it. And Zach's just written to be a numbskull. A numbskull. And then Fatima says something that contradicts what was said in episode 2. "Let the police handle it." Yet when Angela tried to call the police, she shut that down. Zach's like, "No." "Well, Zach, you're not even sorry for what you did?" "No." Well, you would have ruined everything if he had died. Did you want him to die?" "No, I didn't, but I wanted him to know that he shouldn't put his hands on you ever again." "Well, I bet he got the message." "Yeah, I'm glad he did." But then Zach says something that just really threw me for a loop. "Hey, how about this? Next time something like this happens in the future, don't tell me." And Fatima's like, "Well, that's why I tried to do this time, because I knew you'd be a fool." And then Zach, like, you acting a fool, like, it prevents me from loving you the way that I want to love you. And then Zach's like, "Well, some women love it when their man acts a fool over them. Do women want protection? Yes. But do women want a guy to do something dumb that's going to jeopardize everything? No. I have to disagree. There are women who want their guy to do anything to protect them, even if they don't necessarily need to fight. But it's like, show you're a real man. Then, like, if the man gets beaten up, what kind of man are you? Or if the man goes too far and gets arrested, then she's laid up with some other dude like nothing ever happened. So the conversation ends with, Fatima using the analogy of something from her past where her mom and an old crazy white guy got into it over a parking space, and Fatima wanted to call her dad, but Mona was like, no, because her dad, military, and if her dad found out, he probably would have killed that dude. And then next thing you know, he's arrested and whatnot, and it wasn't worth it. But here's my issue with this. Based on Fatima's story, it seems to have been like a shouting match between Mona and this old crazy white dude over a parking space. I think there's a sharp contrast between that and getting attacked, knocked unconscious. Huge difference. So for me, the multiple reasons why this scene doesn't work is that Zach's anger subsided out of nowhere. He agrees that Fatima was right about not attacking Jeremiah, which honestly I'm not too broken up about. But the way this whole thing was handled with Fatima contradicting herself, let the police handle it, yet she didn't want the police to handle it earlier in the season. And then from there, Zach even going so far as Zach basically said, hey, the next time a Negro attacks you and harms you, don't tell me about it. What? This is me saying the writing for Zach was really out of pocket here. So let's say Jeremiah or Gary or Hayden or whoever puts hands on Fatima. So next time somebody attacks Fatima, and let's say it's worse and she loses her unborn baby, she isn't supposed to tell Zach. I hate to be that morbid about it, but that's honestly where this whole thing seems to be headed, because this is a terrible message to I think the message of this scene was really messed up, and if I were in a relationship, I would not follow any of this advice. Obviously, not do anything reckless to jeopardize not just the relationship but our livelihood together by going after someone if I haven't exhausted all other options such as law enforcement and whatnot to do it for me. But I do not like how this scene played out. It didn't know. And people were like, I can't believe you want to quit the show because Zach didn't yell at Fatima. I think that Zach didn't necessarily need to yell, but there needed to be a healthier communication here. Because it just felt like had Zach reacted the way I was hoping he would have reacted, Fatima would have shut him down and refused to listen. But the only reason she obliged him was because I'm sorry, you were right and I was wrong. So yet again, we have another prime example of this is Fatima's world and Zach is just lucky to be living in it. Everything is cool in their relationship so long as Zach does exactly what Fatima says. Lo and behold, if he goes off script, she will leave him high and dry. I did not like this scene. I did not like this episode. And it was a prime reason why season 3 just didn't work for me. Like I said, those last 2 episodes, chef's kiss. But the handful of episodes leading into it, couldn't care less for them. So let me know what you thought. And I think another thing that didn't help was, like, I get it. It was funny with the whole bathroom jokes and everything. But I felt like the comedy was utilized in a way to make up for the piss poor writing of the scene. But that's just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next video.